girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley. As the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show, Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DePrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every step I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I hope that you are relaxed. I hope you are enjoying your Thursday evening and are ready to get into these trending topics across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. Of course, that's what we do here on RSVP with Jill Munroe. Thank you for checking in on this good Thursday night. Listen, it's a happy Thursday here in Southern California. You know, us Laker fans were treated today to the first of 3 Kobe Bryant statues that have been announced at the Staples Center. They each will feature, well, 2 of them will feature the number 8 and the number 24. Although, now Vanessa Bryant did make it very clear that this pose was selected by Kobe. I will tell you that I'm a little disappointed that the number 8 Kobe jersey is not Fro Kobe. I really wanted a Fro Kobe statue. And this one's number 8. So number 24, you know, is going to be something different. Still some poses out there that we could lock around with. And then, of course, the 3rd statue will be Kobe and Gianna.
Be patient, Joe. Be patient.
But it can't be a Fro Kobe one because
it's going to be a number 8, right?
He's already, the number 8 is the one that he was revealed today.
I thought it was going to be 2 number 8s and a 24.
Oh, is that how they're doing it?
I mean, I don't know. It's 2 more statues, right?
2 more, but the
one with Gianna.
One with Gianna and one with just him. So she said, I'm assuming one with number 8, one with number 24, and then, you know, listen, maybe, but this statue has number 8 in recognition of his 81-point game, you know, in January of whatever year, and his pose after he, you know, laid that out. So I feel like we're off the table for number 8, and I really wanted a Fro Kobe like Duncan or something from like the 2000, the first finals run, but I'm happy with anything. Salute to Kobe. And Vanessa said that this is the house that Kobe built. So listen, it is.
The only other statue or pose that I could see, I mean, there's a lot, but I want to see the one where he just won the 2nd or 3rd chip, and he was in the locker room. He had
the leather jacket with the trophy.
Yeah, that would be a hard.
But that's number 8.
Okay, so it's 2 more statues.
Correct.
It's going to be another number 8.
No.
Okay, see, I'm confused.
It'll be a number 24.
And then the other one is with Gianna, right?
Right, and I don't.
That's probably going to be the 24 then, if that's the case.
You think so?
I mean.
Okay.
You know.
We hope so.
We hope so.
I just feel like they are doing it just a slight disservice if we don't get a Fro Kobe statue.
Well, Vanessa, like she said.
No, I mean, again, can't argue with
So
that.
be it.
This is what Kobe wanted. That's why I said I have no complaints. This is what Kobe wanted, so this is what it is. Rock out. Vanessa is a fellow Taurus. Shout out to you. You know, Gian, baby that passed away, we actually share the same birthday. So, you know, I just, every time I see Vanessa, my heart goes out to her. And, we love to see anything Kobe related here in the City of Angels. We will always love and support him. Did we talk about this? Do you think LeBron should will get a statue? No. I kind of don't think so either. Even though he brought us number 17, I think he'll get a jersey retirement though. No statue though.
I don't even know about a jersey retirement, to be honest with you.
You don't think he'll get a jersey
If
retirement?
anybody deserves a jersey retirement, it should be Derek Fisher.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he was
well.
there for all five of the championships.
Come on now.
Was within the, you know, organization family-wise, although it ended not happily with the Sparks. But, you know, whatever. Shout out to D. Fish, man. He should get a jersey retirement. You're right. Derek Fisher should get his jersey retired with the Lakers. He was there right with Kobe, locking step every step of the way.
Clutch shots.
Yeah.
0.4. The 3 against Orlando at Orlando. Come on now. He's always, even that layup against the Celtics. I forgot what game that was. I believe like KG and all of them was all over him, and he still hit it. Derek Fisher deserves to get that jersey retired. I don't know who's rocking number 2 right now, but he definitely needs to give that up.
I think so. I agree with that. You know, we will have to see. Well, listen, let me run down to you what we're going to get into tonight here on RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. First up, first hour, you know, we're always on theme here. Rapper M.I.A., she recently came out with some statements on X, formerly known as Twitter, claiming that Jay-Z sabotaged her son's custody battle. So we're going to get into those accusations, and it's obviously the year of airing out our grievances, but is this really okay? We're going to talk a little bit about that. In hour 2, Vivica Fox explains a bit into her comments regarding work and that things have never been a problem for her. She explains how she handles things on set when things do come up. So we're going to get into that. In hour 3, we're going to get into a little bit of Donald Glover. He has recently come out and admitted that he has gotten married, but was questioned about the interview he conducted with himself a couple of years ago, where he asked himself, was he afraid of black women? He tries to explain that. In addition to that, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. I'll let you know on the other side. And we have some interviews coming up in the third hour. So make sure you are locked and loaded and ready for good times, good conversation. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes. I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Hey. Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So I gave you a little tease of what we're going to be getting into this hour, but I also want to remind you that in hour 3, we have an interviews actually, coming up with Vivica A. Fox from her new Peacock film called Bosco. We're going to get into that. And we have an interview with the cast of The Irrational, Jesse L. Martin. You know him from Law & Order. And his 2 co-stars, Mariah Hall and Trevina Springer. So I'm not sure if you checked out The Irrational on NBC, but we'll get into what that is and a little bit of backstory into that. It's a psychological type procedural. So we'll get into all the details of that. And I forgot to mention that every fan that attended the Lakers versus Denver Nuggets game tonight, following the unveiling of Kobe's jersey, they received the Black Mamba number 8 jersey. And if you're not sure what the Black Mamba jersey is, that one is black in color, obviously, but it looks like it has a snakeskin pattern to it. So really nice. Again, shout out to Bean. So listen, a lot is happening. A lot is still happening. If you're into numbers, and you guys know I am, that Shannon Sharp and Monique interview from Club Shay Shay is over 5 million views in a little over 24 hours, still climbing. We're going to get into some news from that later. However, I want to ask you, do you guys drink soda? Do you drink Coca-Cola? Well, for the first time in a few years, Coke is dropping a new flavor, and it's going to be a permanent addition to the soda. And this time, it is capitalizing on everybody's love of spice. So it is going to be the spiced Coca-Cola. It basically is going to have raspberry and spice flavors. It's dropping soon. So basically, spicy Coke. Are you interested? Are you checking it out? I don't really drink soda. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's interesting that they keep trying. It's the same product, but you just make little tweaks and people are still on board with it. But we'll have to see. We know that Coke has also doubled down on healthier drink options because they know that a lot of the audience is turning away from, high fructose corn syrup and things of that nature. So sad to report that Warner Music has announced that they will be laying off 600 employees, and they plan to reinvest the ex-employees' salaries back into the company. So basically, a lot of the staff that are being let go are, once again, this is something that we talked about as far as with the LA Times, Sports Illustrated, Pitchfork, and a couple of others. Warner Music is mainly letting go of staff related to their media properties, such as Uproxx, Hip Hop DX, IMGN, and a few others. So 600 people, they want to do things to reinvest in the company and realign some things. So listen, the media business continues to change. Warner's position is that they are going from a, you know, a a reorganization, so to speak, not really, but for lack of a better term, to a position of strength, and that all of the savings will be worth the hard cuts and decisions that they had to make now. So we'll see how that all turns out. Okay, listen, you heard M.I.A. at the beginning. We were all on that song when it came out. What was that, like 2008 when that dropped? 2007? I can't remember. It was a while ago. And, you know, Paper Airplanes, that was the joint, right? Well, we haven't heard from M.I.A. in a while. She came out on X today, swinging. She is in a custody battle over her 12-year-old son that has been ongoing for quite some time now with her soon-to-be ex. His name is Benjamin Brofman. His father is billionaire Edward Brofman, and he is the former CEO of Warner Music Group, who we just discussed, right? So in a series of tweets on X, formerly known as Twitter, M.I.A., she shared several screenshots of her struggle to get a visa so that she can come to the U.S. and see her son. One of the screenshots contained a legal notice where it said that she was ineligible for the U.S. visa due to her past behavior. And she's had visas in the past, but they feel that she has acted inappropriately or out of line in some sense, and, you know, they can deny your entry into the country. So she can request a waiver, and has, but a waiver can take up to 9 months for it to be processed through, right? So she's blaming Joe Biden and Jay-Z for these issues. On Joe Biden, she said, Biden won't let me see my child. The longest processing is meant to be 2 months, and it's already been that. They're basically saying I have to wait for a Republican to come to office because 9 months from now is the election. She also referenced the, quote, past behavior that has her visa approval blocked. She said it was because she once stole food when she was 18. She also said that the custody battle, which began a little over 11 years ago in 2013, at that point in time, she was being managed by Roc Nation and Jay-Z, and she is alleging that Jay-Z was paid off by the Brofmans to make things move around and go away. She wrote, "Be very clear. Why my record was buried in 2013. I sacrificed my career for my child. They ripped me off and copied my style and gave it to their puppets and shadow banned me on every platform. But it was worth it to save him from the madness of what you know now." She also alleged that Jay-Z ghosted her after she was officially served in the custody battle. She said, all my emails to Jay-Z asking for help were wiped from my inbox. My inbox was broken into and my apartment, was broken into and every laptop was taken. I was trapped in Brooklyn on an order served that restricted me leaving Brooklyn for 15 years. So she said basically that Jay-Z abandoned her. But a lot of the fans are hitting back and saying part of the reason why perhaps Roc Nation moved away from her was because of the criticism that she dealt with 7 years ago when a lot of the Black Lives Matters situation was happening. Basically, she, faced a lot of heat after she came at Beyonce and Black Lives Matter. What she said at the time was, Roc Nation stopped, I told you, she said Roc Nation stopped all communication and wiped the emails. But what she said in 2016 was that basically Beyonce was making music too much directed at the Black struggle and she should talk about other things. And a lot of people took offense to that, and it's not surprising that at the time, Roc Nation, because there have been other incidents, we know, not grand things, but just, I guess, inconvenient things. And at that point in time, they felt the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. And now she is upset and looking to them for assistance of some sort. Or, I guess, holding him accountable. I think it's just, we have been dealing with a lot of call outs in this early stages of 2024. We're only, 5 weeks in? And I don't know if she just felt like, I need to speak on this, it's holding me back, or she thought maybe someone would jump in and try and assist her with her situation as far as her custody battle and being able to see her son. I do have a question, though. At what point do we have to honor the choices we make, even if we know that though we may feel right, it's going to cost us some things? Can we continue to blame outsiders? I don't know. I'm not making a judgment call, but it just sometimes it feels like we have a lot of whataboutisms and blame-isms and no accountability on our part as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too simplistic about it. I'm not saying that people cannot add on or pile on when things seemingly are going wrong. I'm not saying that people flat out won't help and will ignore you or drop you because you might be going through some issues. But as people who also contribute at times to our own struggles, the first step I feel like in getting ahead is admitting that there is some onus on yourself, at least in some of the situations that we have been talking about as of late, I'm not saying that nobody's a victim, but just in some of these situations, perspective would do a lot for a lot of individuals. Again, no judgment, just some thoughts really quickly. Forensic accountant in the chat, and the YouTube chat is always lit. So if you want the visual experience to go along with this audio experience, log in there, tap in there. And also don't forget to hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I, of course, am Stiletto Jill everywhere. Hit me up and say hello. I like it. Let's get to some more stories and trending topics. So we know we're only a few short days away from Super Bowl, and we're seeing a lot of things pop up. I've been talking a lot about the Usher rollout, which I think is fantastic. They've added more tour dates. I know a lot of people were concerned about that. And I wasn't really, because I thought about the fact that Usher's concert tour is dropping in the fall. He's doing a lot of arenas, which means what? He's going to have to deal with NBA games, NHL games. So sometimes that stuff takes a second to work out. I knew there was going to be more dates. And I love the Hangover style movie that they're doing for Where's Usher? If you've watched it, Apple dropped the full 7-minute teaser. I believe that there will be some form of it shown on Sunday and incorporated in. You already know that Lil Jon and Luda are in it, so I hope that we get to see them do it again both times. Lovers and Friends, we know we're going to hear yeah. But I would like to hear a couple of, notes from Lovers and Friends and Lil Jon. Also, it looks like the Queen Bee could be making an appearance. So Verizon has dropped a little teaser hint for a commercial that they're going to be running on Super Bowl Sunday. And it features an actor, and in it, he has a bunch of lemons surrounding him, and Beyonce's, I believe the song is called My House. It was an additional track from Renaissance, is sort of playing in the background. So I don't know, maybe Verizon is the tour sponsor for the next leg of Renaissance. I'm not sure, but something involving Beyonce is going to be jumping off at the Super Bowl. You can count on it. And where are my old school ladies, 90s fans? One of the favorites, back in the day, the Ballers. I know Ballers is something different now, but back in the 90s when they were talking about Ballers, they were talking about street ballers and not the time that hoop. Donna Karan, the line, is making a comeback. They recently announced that the brand will be back in stores, and they did it by bringing out some of the big 90s models' faces that obviously probably walked the runway or posed in ads for Donna Karan back in the day. So it was a staple, and it's coming back around. I wonder, though, I never hear people reference it, right? It was really big in the 90s, cross-culturally, obviously, but it's not one of the brands that we hear people throw back. But I am of the mindset that people carbon copy on to the things that they say that they like from the 90s era now, and it's always the same thing. Martin, Living Single, cross colors, and, a couple of the other easily identifiable markers. But there's some people that really get into the fashion and change it up a bit and don't go for the typical. So I wonder if Donna Karan is a name that still brings up fond memories for today's fashion fan, and what kind of look they're going to bring to the mix, because it's a lot of options out there, right? In the chat, Forensic Accountant says, Emil stayed silent for years in the midst of being denied print media and on record. M.I.A, I think, overall has always been someone viewed as outspoken with views that might have been a little left or right, depending upon your viewpoint, of mainstream. Let's put it like that. So it's not surprising that she might have situations with herself and others that disagree, that were on the other side. She was very vocal during COVID about the vaccine and some other things. So again, I don't know if she emailed Jay-Z for help and how they broke in and wiped her email and hacked her computer thing. We've heard a lot over these last couple of months about it, and I'm not saying that Jay-Z had that done or that I agree with her. She didn't put forth any proof of this or anything of that nature. But what I am saying is we've heard a lot of these type of accusations over the past couple of months. So it could be sounds good, works good, or it's just everyone has decided that 2024 will be the age of the reveal and truth. We'll have to see. It's a lot happening. Listen, we have more trending topics and headlines coming up. Meek Mill recently shared that he watches Candace Owens' show often. And, social media, they forget nothing. They were happy to bring up a clip of Candace just for Meek. So we're going to get into that on the other side, plus more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports on the other side.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. A conservative group insists NFL's Rooney Rules is racist. The rule requires football teams to interview at least one minority candidate during the hiring process. America First Legal, which is led by former Trump advisor Stephen Miller, filed a complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, claiming the 2003 rule is discriminatory. This is the latest in a string of complaints the group has filed recently against various sports leagues and companies. In November, it targeted airlines for racial and sex discrimination. Master P and Snoop Dogg are filing a lawsuit against some of the biggest food retailers in the country. The rappers say the companies conspired to halt their efforts to sell their cereal brand. According to a TMZ report, they hired famed criminal attorney Benjamin Crump to file a lawsuit against Post and Walmart after both allegedly teamed up to ruin their deal to sell Snoop cereal and Mama Snoop. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join the growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Got me a damn girl on my team.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe we have the best tag team in morning radio. Dominique DePrima and Tavis Smiley. As the first black woman in Los Angeles to anchor a morning drive talk radio show, Dominique covers local politics like a blanket. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., Dominique passes the baton to Tavis Smiley, who talks to everybody about everything every day until 12 noon. KBLA's dynamic duo, Dominique and Tavis. It's no wonder the LA Civil Rights Department is honoring Dominique DePrima this year at its Tell Our Story honoring black journalist leaders and storytellers event, Thursday, February 8th. Or that the John M. Langston Bar Association of Los Angeles is honoring Tavis Smiley at its 47th Annual Installation and Scholarship Awards Gala with its Community Impact Award on February 10th. We couldn't be more proud of Dominique and Tavis, who make black history every day, not just in February. If you're missing Dominique and Tavis weekday mornings on KBLA Talk 1580, you're missing out. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Holla, yeah.
Spend an evening with MSNBC political analyst and host of The Readout, Joy Ann Reid at Pomona College on Thursday, February 15th at 7 p.m. Celebrate the release of her new book, Merle and Medgar, Medgar Evers and the Love Story That Changed America. The event is free and open to the public, but tickets are required. You can even purchase a signed copy of the book. Visit www.pomona.edu/bridges to reserve tickets now.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ever since I known you been out to get me, acting like my peeps, but I know that's how you trick me. Love to see me get high, love to see me tipsy. Heard you even wanna stick a bill chipping me. You been trying to play me close ever since my shine. Wanna take me to dinner, feed me shrimp and swine. You said a meal, I want you to meet a good friend of mine. His name is Money and we partners to the end of time. Introduce me to your clique, hey, envy, lust and greed. Said you want the whole world in your custody. And if I give you my soul, you'll give me luxuries. Said you can hit me off with power, it's just up to me. I turn you on when I'm in short skirts and tight jeans. Want my kids to write Santa and celebrate Halloween. Told me sell my people crack and get rich or fiends. You love the number 6 but hate the number 13.
We'll have some quarrels, some disappointments, and a whole lot of problems. And you will set me.
You wanna be the
You
one
are
to
locked
pick me
in
up
to
when I
RSVP
fall.
with Jill
Show me
Munroe
hands,
here
use your
on
hands for my
KBLA Talk
baby.
1580. Andy, who was that on the hook? I know that's Emil, obviously, but who's on the hook?
Carl Thomas.
I was gonna say Carl Thomas or Mario Winans. Had to be one of them. I get why Emil didn't work at the time. Like, I feel like they didn't. Some of the singles were good. Some of them were just nah.
It's because of songs like that.
Why it didn't work, or you mean why?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, if you listen to the rest of the song, a lot of people felt like she was talking about Jay-Z on that record.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if you pay attention to the lyrics, you know, she was kind of somewhat exposing. Now I don't know if it's really about Jay-Z, but you know, if you go on YouTube and you know pay attention to a couple blog sites, you know, a lot of people point to this record as if this was a Jay-Z expose from Emil.
That's interesting. It seems like this era to a degree would have been better for her in some ways.
I mean, since everybody's over here exposing people, then yeah.
I'm talking about her vocally. Like, even though she has a great voice, I always felt that way. But I always kind of wondered why it didn't click. No.
Politics. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Because she did, for me, in my opinion, that song that she had with Beyonce was fire to me.
I got that.
Yes, I like that record.
I didn't think it should have been her first single. I didn't think that was a good showing at that time, though.
Fair enough. Of course, the collaborative record with her, Jay-Z, Meth Bleak, and Beanie Siegel for the Fam.
Yeah.
I liked it. Her verse on Can I Get Her?
Can I Get Her was legendary still.
So, I think it was a lot of politics.
You ain't gotta be rich, but bump that. How we gonna get around on your bus pass? I know that's right, Emil. Welcome back in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, Trey Sammy in the YouTube chat says, M.I.A. married into one of the wealthiest families on the planet after fighting for freedom your whole career. You were happy to be a part of the elite when it served you. Don't come on here looking for sympathy now that things aren't going your way, girl. He also added, people love pinning their issues on Jay-Z and Beyonce when M.I.A. married into a corrupt family. Okay. I do think that, you know, and it's natural, I guess, because when you are in a capitalist country, let's face it, the haves and the have-nots, that gap seems to be getting wider. And I mean, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'm not saying that Jay-Z has blocked anyone or Beyonce has, but I don't know if they have. But I do kind of feel like, the music industry, when you step into it, is like a 500,000 to 1 shot or something like that, And we've all heard the stories. We've heard the stories for years and years and years, as far back as we can remember. And there are some things, no, you can't shake and move from. But some of these things really just seem like sour grapes. It's like somebody come rescue me. And I understand we all want to feel like we have a soft place to land when things go wrong, or when we feel as though we are being wronged. But, and again, I understand M.I.A. is talking about her son, but do you really believe in your heart of hearts it is Jay-Z's fault that you are locked into a custody battle with your ex and that he can get you out of this? You know who your father-in-law is. Not like that. I mean, prayers out to her. That's horrible that she's been away from her family for this long, but I don't know. I want, as 2024 has become the year of truth, I need it to be the year of accountability along with that truth. And not just the people that feel as though they are dishing out these gems and pieces of truth bombs. I think everybody has to step back and recognize, too, yeah, you dropped that truth bomb, but now what? What are you going to do next? What are you going to be left with? Because after you get those emotions out, there is still life to live and something to contend with. So, yeah, shout out to M.I.A. Shout out to Jay-Z, Beyonce. Shout out to the kids, man. So listen, Denzel Washington and Spike Lee are coming back together for a 5th time for a film together. They haven't worked together since 2006, which was Inside Man, which was a great film. But now they are coming together with a project with A24 and Apple Original Films, and it's called High Low. It's going to be released theatrically first, and then it will stream on Apple TV+. It is a remake as well. So I'll get you further details on that. Of course, we're going to be on the lookout for that. They've obviously had some legendary pairings together, going all the way back to Mo Better Blues. You know, obviously Malcolm X, Inside Man, which we just mentioned. I feel like I'm leaving out one more besides this new one. I know I am. It'll come to me. But we love to see I know that we are fast and loose with the words like legend and icon, especially right now. But I'm comfortable with saying Spike and Denzel are legends and icons. And we are happy to see that 34 years later, they're still working together. So I'm excited to check it out. Listen, there's so much happening. I can't believe that in a little over 24 hours, I suppose it's not in the same way that Cat Williams was, but it is in similar fashion that Monique has taken over once again. And the irony is that it's not new information. It's, again, the same things that we've kind of been having a conversation around with regards to Monique for at least the past 6 years, right? It's actually a little longer, but we'll say strongly for the last 6 years. It was in 2018 when she came out and asked the Black community to launch a boycott against Netflix because they lowballed her for a comedy special. Well, after her Cat Williams interview, we all saw the memes and the viral moment when Monique went on The Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, and she told him certain things about how she felt he carried and handled women, Black women in particular, that came to his show and certain things like that. Well, following the interview, Charlamagne the God has apologized. So when we come forward, we're going to get into his apology, Monique's response. And oh, by the way, Monique announced that she's going on tour. And I'll let you know who with on the other side. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Listen, you know that KBLA Talk 1580 is your election information station, and we just released our first ever survey of Black LA County voters. The groundbreaking results highlight a wide open LA County District Attorney's race, plus the Black community's views on crime, criminal justice, and other key issues that are not being discussed by the DA candidates. To see the results of the very first political poll of likely Black voters in LA County, hit up KBLA1580.com. And of course, while you're there, check the rundown of all the candidates that we've interviewed thus far and take a moment to fill out our climate justice survey. Remember, there is no other station in Southern California that is going to cover this election like we will here at KBLA Talk 1580. You know we got your Black. Okay, let us get back into these trending topics and headlines. So, before we came forward, I mentioned that Monique has accepted Charlamagne the God's apology based off of what she felt, He was loud, what she said, and she called them not the Breakfast Club, she called them the Breakfast Nubs. And she said he was loud with the critiques, but quiet when the settlement came through. And she said, once again, she feels like it's just about accountability. And okay, fair. I get that. But let's hear what Charlamagne had to say about this. So actually, I think this clip goes from the original, like it bounces it around. No, it goes from Club Shay Shay to Charlamagne and then back to the original and something like that. You'll be able to follow it. You're smart. You're bright. Let's go.
The Breakfast Nubs called me the donkey of the day. And they had a whole call-in. But you didn't do the same thing when you found out we settled. Now all of a sudden, don't nobody know what a settlement is. We just want to throw it away. So with that Netflix special, it was just like, no, guys, I gotta stand up.
Now, if you remember Monique back in the day, like 2018, called for a boycott of Netflix, saying they lowballed her. Monique said in an Instagram video that Netflix offered her $500,000 for a comedy special, and she pointed out Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock $20 million. I gave her donkey of the day for that because it was, in my opinion, that Monique, wasn't on the level of Dave, Amy, and Chris. And she came on Breakfast Club and said this.
And what happens is when you're basing off of what you're assuming, and then you give me a title of Donkey of the Day. Is your mother still alive?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're from what city in South Carolina?
Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Moncks Corner. And if I was to call your mother or your grandmother, could they tell me stories of inequality that they had to deal with?
Absolutely.
So would your mother be a donkey?
No.
Would your grandmother be a donkey?
No.
I need you to explain how you gave me the title because you're not explaining it. You're going off of what I assume. But because you're on that microphone, and when we open up these microphones, we know just how powerful our voices can be, don't we, Angela?
Yes, we do.
And we know that what we say can become law. Correct, Lenore?
Absolutely.
So when we do that, we must then explain it to our community because we know how poisonous it can be when we put things out, but we can't back it up. We just say it.
Monique, you were right. I had no business speaking on your business, okay? There's absolutely a pay discrepancy for black women. Black women are typically paid only 67 cents for every dollar paid to white men, and the wage gap actually widens to 65 cents on the dollar for black women who hold doctorate degrees compared to white men with the same education, okay? Not to mention, all the proof is in the pudding. When you see a company as big as Netflix with all the money Netflix has, they could have dragged this out, okay? They settled with Monique, okay? And still put out a Monique comedy special. Okay, Monique, God bless you, sister. And if you have never heard me say this before, or if I've never said it because I was born in 1978 and my memory is not what it used to be, I apologize for being wrong. Okay,
say it again.
Man, shut up.
No, seriously, your kneecap.
I am. Could
you need to go ahead.
Yeah, say it again.
Could y'all stop?
Say it
Give me a
clearly.
moment.
That's crazy.
Right? Regardless of how I felt about the situation with you and Netflix, I had no business in your business and broadcasting your business, and it was Envy's idea to open the phone lines for people to comment on your business. Wasn't mine, okay? But I truly, were you going to apologize?
I apologize, Monique.
Okay.
And I think you should apologize to her husband as well.
I apologize to her husband, Sydney. I truly pray this apology is received by you, Monique, and I hope you heal, because I feel like when I hear somebody talking about something for a long period of time, that means they have been holding on to it, and it's bothering them in some way. And as a therapist once told me, if you don't want your peace disturbed, don't disturb the peace of others. I clearly disturbed your peace. I heard Donkey of the Day mentioned in the intro to your Netflix special. I heard you talk about Donkey of the Day on Club Shay Shay. Monique, I apologize. I want peace. I want us to heal whatever this is. I want that for everybody you mentioned in the Club Shay Shay interview. I truly pray for peace and healing for us all. Monique, I want that for you. I want that for me, because I love us for real.
That's good. You're doing what's right. Sitting over there looking like a wannabe ass Bokeem Woodbine.
I just knew you had something to say.
Yeah.
I just knew it.
I'm going to keep on saying you look like DJ Paul Nub. That's what you look like. And his look a little better.
So
fresh
listen.
kneecap head.
Let's
look good.
So listen, one, shouts out to Charlamagne Leonard, as Monique says, for, offering that apology. I wonder, though, will he issue apologies to everyone he gave Donkey of the Day from? And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have apologized to Monique. I'm not saying that she was deserving of that moniker. I'm just simply asking the question, because everyone is someone's child, right? Everyone may have a moment of bad judgment or different judgment or God forbid we have a difference of opinion, right? I don't know. Listen, what I heard in that, especially at the end, was not so much about whether or not he really feels that, Monique should have gotten more, the settlement or whatever. I think what he recognized, and probably what the bigger thing is, and really the bigger thing with a lot of the individuals he mentioned, I think he hit it right on the head when he said that if someone continues to bring something up for an extended period of time, and at this point, it has been years, then it really is bothering them. It really does hurt them. And maybe she will move forward as far as that particular thing and put that to bed, so that it's not something that is still disturbing her spirit to the point. Monique did say that she forgives him and that's all she wanted was accountability and for others to be accountable. So we'll see what happens next. She also announced that she will be joining Cat Williams and Torrey Hart on the Dark Matters tour, which we know and I wonder if Monique will be included in that or if it will only be Kat's portion, because the May 4th show, which will be right here in Inglewood at the YouTube Theater, is a part of the Netflix's A Joke comedy festival, and it is being recorded for a Netflix special. So since it is Kat, Torrey, Monique, and I'm not sure who else is going to be on this, but I wonder if it's all of them or just Kat's part, because obviously the three of them together in one night, I'm curious. Will we hear Kevin Hart, Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry across all three sets? I mean, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. I can't be mad at, I'm a marketing girl. So I was just talking about Usher's rollout. I love a good rollout. It almost seems like they had it planned with Kat doing his interview first on Club Shay Shay, and then Monique coming a little more than a month later, following it up like they bookend each other, and then, the tour and all of the people. I love a good marketing plan. Let's see if it works and the audience responds. Everybody is loving the clips. Everybody is watching it online, making jokes. Will you show up and give the same support when it counts as we do online? Because that's the big thing. Monique is going to need her fans to show up for her and support her because she put herself out there in such a manner. So all of this lip service is great, but not if you don't show up and support her or support any of the individuals and buy their products, stream their stuff, whatever the case may be. Because as much as we don't want numbers to matter, numbers matter sometimes. Listen, in the chat, Kendi says, so did Monique's special do better than Dave's or not? Otherwise, she needs to keep Dave's name out of her mouth. Well, that's a question for another day, and it may not be one-to-one on that. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into Vivica Fox. She clears up some of the comments that were attributed to people felt she was shading Taraji a bit when asked about pay. So she clarifies with that, plus more trending topics and headlines on the other side. You're locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Speak now and then, but we ain't smacking hands. You be up in the clubs asking me for a dance, still trying to convince me to go cheat on my man, begging me to please give you just one more chance.
We'll have some calls, yes, some disappointments, and a whole lot of problems. And you
when we was kids, you was the one who taught me how to lie. Said I could always use you as my alibi, and you